Today we are diving into 5 simple but powerful habits that can seriously level up your Python skills. Whether you are just getting started or already writing solid scripts, these are the habits you will want to build early on. So let's get started. The first one is protect your code with if name is equal to main. You have probably seen this before, but why it is important? Let me show you a quick example. So let's say we have a function like this, and here this connect function simulates the connecting to the internet. So if I just go ahead and call this function connect and run our code, you will see that it works without any issue. So it says that it's connecting to the internet, wait for 3 seconds, then you are connected. Now there is no problem over here, but what happens if I import this into another script? So let's say inside main py, I'm going and importing this connect and using this connect function. Now if I run this, you will see that what happens over here is it's connecting to the internet 2 times. So our function executed 2 times. This is because Python runs the whole module when you import it, including any function calls that you have at the bottom. So how to fix this? So here, to be able to fix this, all we have to do is we just need to wrap the test code inside the if condition like this. So we have to put it like this. If name is equal to main, in this case, inside this if condition, we are just going to run the connect. Now, if I just go ahead and run this module, you will see that it's running without any issue. But what this if condition does is it runs this part only if you run this model directly. If you import it, it's not going to run this part. So if I just go ahead and run this main one, you will see that here connect function will be run only once. Before it was running 2. Now with this you can make your code clean and safe. Now let's continue to the second habit. Now the second habit is create main function to organize your script. Let's say you are writing a small script that does few things. Maybe first function greets the user and the second function says goodbye. Now instead of just dropping all your code at the bottom of the file, you can do it inside the main function. So here we can put dev main, and inside main function we can call the other functions. So first we are greeting the users, so we are calling greet function, then we are just going to go ahead and say goodbye. Then here again we have to put the way that we have put in case of the connect function. So instead of connect we are just going to put over here main. Now if I go ahead and run this, you'll see that everything works without any issue. So why do we need to do this? Because it gives your script structure, and when someone reads it, they know exactly where the main logic begins. And later on, if your script grows, it is easier to manage. So this habit comes from the language like Java, but it works beautifully in Python too. Now habit number 3, keep your function focused and reusable. Now habit number 3, keep your function focused and reusable. Here's a quick example of what not to do. So we have a function which checks the eligibility for the club. If your name is in the blacklist, it's going to say that you are in the blacklist. If your age is greater and equal to 18 and you have ID, you may enter the club. Otherwise, you may not enter the club. So this code works without any issue. But when you write the code, it's very useful to make it into the smaller, meaningful pieces. So this means that here inside this function, we can just go ahead and separate the parts in different logics. So we can create another function for checking that if someone is adult. Now to be able to do that, all we have to do is we're just going to pass as a parameter age. It's going to be the integer, and then we have has ID. Then I'm going to put the type of bool for this. Then of course this function will return the boolean. Then here we can just write the return age is greater or equal to 18 and has ID like this. So instead of writing this if condition, we can just call this function over here. So instead of putting this if condition like this, I'm just going to put if is adult. So here we have age and has ID. Age and has ID. So we can replace it, and we can replace this part also writing another function for this one. So it's going to be def is band. So we are just going to pass the name str. Then this one also will return the boolean. Then we're just going to put return name dot lover, for example, is equal to John. We know that John is in blacklist. So here instead of writing this if condition, we are just going to put the function itself. So we can put is band over here. And of course, as a parameter, we are just going to pass name. Now this logic also works the way that it used to be, but here it is reusable and easier to understand. So if you want to check if someone is banned, you don't need to go to the somewhere else in the code. You can just call this function. And if you want to change, for example, in the future, the age limit, all you have to do is you can just put over here, for example, 21. So in this case, your code is reusable and easier to understand. Now, habit number 4, use type annotation. So using type annotation will help make your code more predictable and understandable, especially when you are working in teams. So here, as you can see, when I created isAdult and isBand functions, I use the type annotation. So here it means that age has to be the integer, you cannot pass the string for age, and hasId has to be boolean. So you cannot pass any other type of values over here. And we are showing the return type of the function. So when you write your code like this, it's more clear and predictable. So anyone who is reading this code knows that it's expecting the age as an integer and the name string, and hasId is boolean. Of course, these parameters are very easy, but sometimes when you pass parameter, for example, as a list or nested list, in this case, it becomes very useful. Now let's continue to the last habit, which is using the list comprehension. Let's say we have a code like this. So here we have the list of the people and we have the long names. So we are looping through the people and finding out the long names and putting it inside this list over here. Now if I run this, you will see that it works without any issue. So we can just go ahead even print out the long names to the console, and you see that long names printed to the console, and it works without any issue. But it is very useful to use it in a Pythonic way. Now to be able to do that, all we have to do is we just need to use the list comprehension. So this code can be replaced like this. So I'm just going to go ahead and put over here long names is equal to, then inside the square brackets, we're just going to put name for name in people if len of the name is greater than 7. So let me just comment out this part. So what this code does is it's just looping through the people list and taking only the names which is len is greater than 7. Now if I run this, you will see that the output is not changed. So it's performing the same way as it did before. So those are the 5 Python habits I personally use almost in every project. So which one do you already follow, or which one was new for you? Let me know in the comments, and I love hearing your tips too. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this with anyone learning Python. So I'll see you in the next one.